Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joe and Ant here, Dudes in Blue, like episode 81 and a half. A couple of you guys on Twitter said that we should do a midweek episode after the absolute disaster that happened last night. And, you know, just for the sake of time and not being able to put it together the way that we normally do, this is how we're going to do it, guys. Dude.
This is good because they get the full facial expression and the animation of the hands. So,
all right, I'm gonna call it like it is. This team right now is NYCFC. I don't think that we're gonna turn this around. I'm just putting it out there. We've had 2 months to pull this thing together, had every opportunity to seal things up, and they've blown it time after time after time. And now here we are, after the first game of the conference semifinals, and we're at risk of getting knocked out in the first round yet again.
I looked it up, and for me personally, the last time this team played a complete game where they were pretty much going to win from beginning to end was May 21st against Orlando in a 3-0 victory. That's embarrassing. That is all on the coach at this point. I'm sorry, but for the last 3 or 4 months, there's been too much shuffling. There's been not enough adjustment. In the last 2 months alone, when we've been slowly downward spiraling and still managing to get results, where's the adjustment? I understand Patrick Vieira is not an in-game adjustment type of guy. Normally at half, he might make a tweak here and there, but from game to game, he was much better last year. Right now, like, you've had 2 months to do this, to figure it out, and you can't do it? It's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing and unacceptable. I'm sorry. What we watched yesterday was awful.
Harrison awful.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane to me how you can keep hitting your head against the wall thinking you're going to get through, knowing the wall's made of concrete.
And this has been the problem, right? Like, we talk about, like, tactic changes. And for me, I mean, there's a few things. Obviously, in this match, I'm gonna call out, like, individual players in a minute and individual, key components here. But I'm just going to start off with the fact that I understand you want to play possession soccer, and I understand you want to play out of the back. But, dude, how much time is spent with the ball going from Bryant to Ring to Collins to Ring to Bryant to Ring to Collins? Without the ball moving forward, there's no movement in the midfield. There's no movement from the forwards. There's too much walking around. They don't appeal. Like, it's not working. The time is spent all in our own third, and it's the complete opposite for the other team. Like, aren't you sick of watching the ball go side to side for 3 minutes before they screw it up, making a pass to the middle?
This team is legitimately trying to wait for the perfect pass, to have a perfect shot. It's almost as if they need to have the net wide open in order to score. Like, they want it to happen. They want the right players to be in the right place at the right time. And they stand around. This team, you're telling me that this team is built on speed and that certain players on this team can't play it because they're slow. Meanwhile, we walk. We walk. Again, this was one game in the midst of many where the ball has to go from position to position to position to position to position before it moves upfield. That's not how we win. We win by carrying the ball, get rid of it when you have to, and these give-and-go passes that get us down the wings, that's our strong point. But, I mean, what the hell is going on? I'm sorry. After watching that yesterday, the last Sunday game we played against them, they gave me hope. They were playing much better than usual.
A little more confidence.
A little more confident.
Yeah.
It was nice. I was like, okay, if they play like this, it's going to be close. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being competitive. I'm not okay with doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same results, expecting something different. Playing the ball through one person is not working.
Especially when it's Maxi Morales.
I'm sorry. I'll from the beginning of the season, I thought he might be a candidate for a good DP. At this point, he's a nice player to have, not for that kind of money. I'm sorry. He's just not. It's just not. It's not it. He's not the answer. His passes are off. And I get it. You want to give me pass percentage of passes completed? That's fine. Who are those passes going to?
Most of the passes are backwards.
Okay,
so passing accuracy means nothing to me when 75% of the ball goes back to your defender.
You give away the ball in high percentage zones where you can start creating chances. I mean, there are a few people I could talk well about yesterday, to be honest with you. I thought Alex Ring had a fairly good game, but he's only offering you that defensive side.
He did. He had that slip up that led to the second goal or third goal?
I can't fault people for slipping. That's out of everybody's control. Things happen. That's okay. What I am more upset about is the fact that Rodney Wallace gets a ball outside of his own area, doesn't know who's around him, and proceeds to walk towards the goal with the ball. You've got to be kidding me. First of all, the lineup chosen, it boggles my mind that you can keep picking the same players week in and week out that are underperforming. Rodney Wallace shouldn't have been on the field. Put Jonathan Lewis out there. The guy hustles. He creates chances. What have you got to lose at this point? If you're putting out garbage, that's all you're going to get. He was terrible. Yangel Herrera is not the same player he was before. You know why he was so good in the U20 World Cup or U19 World Cup? It's because he's playing against other guys the same age. He's playing against guys with little experience just like him. The lack of decisiveness with this team is ridiculous. So the fact that they can't string 2 or 3 passes together, that's one. Number two, they're not mobile at all. So they're moving station to station. And when you move station to station, you become uber predictable. You could read us like an open book yesterday. Passes were getting picked off left and right. You knew what was coming. If I, as a fan, know what's coming, what do you think the other team knows? That watches film, that breaks this stuff down. What are you thinking? It's not rocket science, dude. I cannot believe how right we've been for the last 3 or 4 months with our predictions, with our assumptions and everything. And the people who are running this team don't see it. I'm sorry. The way you played yesterday, the fact that you weren't running and everybody was walking around, you might as well have put Pirlo in there because at least those deep passes get to where they're supposed to be.
Oh, how many times was a switch pass that was supposed to go to Jack get cut off? I mean, like, it was just, it never got there.
You can't do that. I feel like all of Maxi's passes that could create something wonderful end up falling 3 feet too short.
I will
and
tell
that's
you,
what he is. He's 3 feet too short.
I will tell you, Fred Briant was surprising me yesterday with some of the passes that he made. He created a chance with David Villa, had a nice switch a couple times. But again, this is coming from your freaking center back, dude. This is coming from your center back.
Your best players can't be back there. Not when you're trying to win games.
Well, clearly they can't, dude. Clearly they can't because one of them got ejected.
Listen, I think all that talk about him being so solid got to his head. And Callens must have realized that, wait a minute, I've played every minute of every game this season.
I need a break.
Let me throw it up. Now, listen, soft elbow, absolutely. I understand he was trying to box him out, but it's a red. You cannot argue. Don't even try to argue with me.
Not when there's video review. Not when there's video review.
Not even that. You watched your opponent crowd you. You threw your forearm and elbow into his upper midsection and turned your head away. You're responsible for your extremities. You're responsible for these things, dude. Come on. It's the biggest game that you've ever played in, and you royally screw it up like that? You've got to be kidding me.
He's been the only solid presence on defense all season.
Well, no, not even that. He's been
consistent.
The most consistent.
Okay, yes, consistent is the word.
Yes.
Just because he's played every damn minute of every single match. Now all of a sudden, when it really matters, when you got to limit goals, especially when you're going home and you got to limit the away goals, you can't play. right? He's out, right? He's out Sunday, correct?
I'm sure they can appeal, but you know what? At this point, doesn't deserve it. He really doesn't deserve it.
Here's the problem.
That's
who do you put there? Who do you play now? Do you got to slot Ethan White in there, who had a shoddy game yesterday? You got to put Struna, on the.
So Struna wasn't terrible. Once he came on, it changed a little bit.
But my point is, who do you start? You've got a team now that's depleted from injury, from age, from the coach just not wanting to give you the minutes. Dude, we're walking into our own demise. Like, you realize that.
It is absolutely asinine to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I understand.
I understand Patrick wants to play European-style soccer, the beautiful game, right? But when it comes down to the playoffs and you're playing against a team that presses you, you can't play that way. You have to change. It's the only way you're going to break through, and the fans are tired of it, dude. Like, I'm tired of it. We've been on Twitter for the past 24 hours. People are just lighting this team up, lighting the coach up, lighting the players up. This has got to stop. You have to change. You have to adapt.
First of all, I see a lot of fans are calling out players and saying some not nice things about certain players who really have been decent this year. Jack Harrison has had a very good year. He's in a slump. Understandable. Now, yesterday, his touch, heavy. Understandable. I get it. Nervous. You're trying to make something happen. He's not making those huge mistakes. He put a shot on goal. He had a shot go wide. You know what? The guy, you can't say the guy's garbage when he's got 8. How many goals he has this year?
10.
Okay, not garbage. So I understand you're upset, but people need to point their anger in the right direction, because you're going to alienate people sooner rather than later, and it's not going to be pretty.
Rodney
Wallace has done nothing.
His touch was off yesterday, okay? But you also got to understand that the service that he was getting, half the time, the ball didn't even end up at his feet.
No.
So what could the kid do? Yes, you have a couple of bad touches. It's going to happen. The ball's wet. It's different playing conditions. It's freezing outside. The ball acts differently. So you adjust, as time goes on in the game. But when you're not getting the service, when the switches are not getting to you, when the passes aren't getting to you, when you and Ethan White are constantly getting in each other's way, it's just, you can't do anything about that.
No. And listen, I'm not for switching your style up to play versus someone else's strengths. I'm more for, you need to have those things set up going into the season. You need to have more than one look. This team is uber one-dimensional. And if you watched yesterday's game, if you watched games against Toronto, games against the Red Bull, we are so easy to beat because we do the same thing over and over and over again.
It's been 2 months. We've scored 9 goals out of our last 10 games. Is that are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So
it's a joke. It's an utter joke.
We talked about this early on in the season, dude. We said, who's going to make up for Lampard's goals? Who's going to make up for his 13 goals, right? Well, we had a really good flow up until about August. The chances and the goals were coming from kind of a few different areas. Jack Harrison, in particular, had a phenomenal first half of the season, right?
Yeah.
But now that question is like, okay, well, who's gonna score when David Villa doesn't score? Because David Villa couldn't buy a goal yesterday. He put himself in a good opportunity to finally get the very first playoff goal in NYCFC history. But dude, there's nobody behind him who can put the ball in the net. That's a major issue.
Here's the problem. This team has, again, and I've said it, and other people have said it, outside of David Villa, there's no leadership on this team. When a game is on the line, everyone looks in one direction. David Villa's direction. He's the guy. Well, guess what? The other team knows he's the guy, and they know he's the only guy. Why do you keep passing to him? Take a shot. Don't be afraid.
Dude, listen to me. In order to take a shot, you got to be in their third, dude. You got to be in their third. Look at the heat maps. We spend more time in our own half than we spend in theirs.
And that's a product of playing out of the back, but understandably,
is it though?
Get the ball to the midfield.
Dude, if you play out of the back, the goal of playing out of the back is to move the ball forward, not side to side. It's the goal is to move the ball forward. 3 or 4 passes, you're in their third. Let me point out another. We had a throw-in deep in there. I tweeted about this last night. We had a throw-in deep in their area, okay? Jack Harrison, I think, won a throw that got the ball into touch. Ethan White throws it in. The ball immediately winds up back with Briant. Immediately. Now, consequently, on the other end, Columbus has a throw-in deep in their end. Somehow, they managed to dance around our area for a good 1 to 3 minutes. Why can't we do that? Why is it that every opportunity that we get that's in our opponent's third ends up in our own? Whether it's by a crappy turnover because we can't string 3 passes together, or by nature of just naturally playing it back because that's the open man.
Yeah, no.
When does it stop? Dude, when do you look at Patrick Vieira? When do you look at him and say, dude, something's got to change here? I understand what you're trying to do, but it's only going to get you so far. In this case, it only got us to August. By some freak of nature, we finished the 2 seed. We are not a 2 seed team, dude. This is not a 2 seed team.
No, and I'll tell you what, I would have preferred finishing towards the bottom of the table and going in like Columbus did. Go in on a winning streak. Go in with that confidence.
We talked about this.
No confidence whatsoever.
Dude, we
I
talked
can see
about
if you
this. We
finish
talked
the
about
2
momentum.
seed. Yeah, and it's such a killer. That first goal yesterday was such a killer.
Freaking 6 minutes in, man. Give me a break.
It's ridiculous.
We
Sean
talked about
Johnson
this.
picked a terrible day to have a bad game too.
What are you, dude? But we talk about all of this. We talked about.
I know. This is why. Listen, this whole most important podcast thing, it's a joke. We know it's a joke. We say it because it's totally subjective. Anybody can say what they want. I think now we're getting into it where we actually are, because every week we kind of hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
absolutely ridiculous.
We talked about momentum going in, right? And if you follow that theory alone, the teams that have momentum going into the playoffs, that momentum carries them. Look at teams like Toronto, like Columbus. Seattle was a perfect example last year. It's the teams that have the momentum going in is what carries them through. The momentum we had was in, like you said before, a downward spiral. And we talked about Sean Johnson a couple of times in the last few episodes, where you can't always rely on your keeper to be standing on his head and have the game of his life.
No,
right?
No, it's not going to happen.
But that being said, stupid mistake by Collins to lose a defender with 30 minutes left in the game, right? A little more than that.
Yeah.
Horrible, shambolic defending against Harrison Awful, dancing around 4 defenders by himself to tap in an easy goal. Dude, it's everything that went wrong, everything that could have went wrong, and it's been going wrong for the last 2 months. And there needs to be some serious changes. You need to really evaluate Rodney Wallace. You need to really evaluate why Matarrita could have started in his position that game. Okay? You got to evaluate your midfield. The only person that I would keep, honestly, dude, is Alex Ring. If you need a 6,
no, that's fine.
If you need a 6, he's your man. That man will work his ass off. Him and David Villa were the only 2 players yesterday that I commended. David Villa came back to defend. David Villa wanted to create. Alex Ring ran his butt off that entire match and made tackles when he shouldn't have made tackles. You got to reevaluate this entire midfield, dude. Our defense has not the issue. Right?
No, I mean we've had hiccups here and there, but
dude,
for the most part,
it's nothing compared to the way it was even last year.
Yeah, no, and look again.
You're now leaky again.
And that's it's inexcusable. Ethan White pulled out of position so often, and he looked like he was playing the center back position on some of those goals. I mean, what? I just don't understand. What could they do differently next week besides throw out a completely different lineup?
But what's that going to do? What is that going to do? Now you've got 11 guys. Now you got 11 guys that don't have the synergy, that don't have the playing time together. I mean, listen, I get it.
But they haven't had it all season.
What difference does it make, right? The reality is that we got to win 3-0 in order to lock this thing up. Not out of the realm of possibility. However,
but
history has a tendency to repeat itself. Okay?
Yeah,
1 goal we give up to Columbus, done, over.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as last year.
It's exactly happened last year, dude. Exact same thing happened last year. We needed to come in to Yankee Stadium and win 3-0 to advance. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because we lost 2-0 to Toronto on the road. Didn't have an away goal. but we needed to win 3-0 to advance.
Yeah, it's just I'm beside myself. Yesterday was absolutely just one of the worst games I've ever seen. And I just realistically, I don't see it getting any better. Can it happen? Absolutely. But is this team really going to find it?
Dude, who's got
after
who
not
has
finding
confidence?
it for 2 months?
Who has confidence in the team right now? When you look at the form that they've been, when you've been able to muster up 9 goals, how are you confident in this squad? There's no way. There's no way.
No.
This team is going to pull this.
No.
Dude,
listen,
if they do, I'm going to be there and I'm going to yell and I'm going to support and I'm going to get happy and I'm going to get angry. But don't mistake that for confidence.
No. So here's the thing. So we as supporters, I haven't missed a game all year. We've gone. You've been to almost every game. We go and we cheer and we support and we do our job. We do what we're supposed to do. Why can't they? Why can't they do it? I keep hearing, Patrick, well, we're coming home. We're going to need the support of the fans. No, you don't. You need your players to support each other. You have it all the time. So don't come back here and try to dump it on us. We weren't loud enough. We didn't. No. It's garbage. It's garbage. In this city specifically, you cannot do this. This doesn't fly here. It may fly with the Knicks because they have history and they play at a world's most famous arena. But realistically, it's just you can't play like that. You cannot have this type of last 2 months going into the playoffs and expect people to want to watch this team. You think attendance was going down before? I'm sorry. If you lose in any kind of fashion the way you lost last year, forget about it.
Dude, we're already on
tons of people.
Dude, we're already there. We're already there.
Yeah. It's just.
I'm sorry. If the
we'll
game ends
there.
scoreless, dude. If the game ends scoreless on Sunday, we're in the same position as we were last year. 11 goals against us, 1 goal for us in the playoffs so far. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. This team needs to remember how to score goals. That's how you play soccer.
At this point, you just got to hope for a competitive game, regardless of the scoreline, because you have to see something positive. And not this whimpering off the field garbage, because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just to watch it, it's painful. It's painful to watch this team play soccer right now.
You can see the air just let out of the take the wind right out of their sails. You could see it. Their body language completely changes. The way that they move completely changes. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. When you have people traveling and paying to see you, and yes, when things are bad, things are going to get bad, right? They're always going to get bad. Things are going to happen. Slumps are going to happen. This has been too consistent in a negative direction, and the players and the coaching staff have themselves to blame. You can't blame anybody else for the quality on the field except the men that are on that field.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. Listen, a slump is 3 or 4 games, and then teams figure it out. 5, 6 games, you figure it out. This is 2 months of not being able to figure it out, and it's been masked by the fact that we've won 1-0. We've managed to have good defensive performances, but other than that, this whole season has been one big facade from May up until now. I mean, June was fantastic, but again, if you look at those games, just because you win does not mean that you played exceptionally well. Go back and look at all those games and tell me that we could not have lost those games.
Yeah.
We could have lost. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We have not had a dominating performance since the end of May, and that's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And you want to throw this blind allegiance to the coach, blind allegiance to a player, this, that, and the other thing. I'm sorry, we're calling it like it is. It's going to be extremely difficult for them to do anything come Sunday night. We'll be there. We'll be doing our job. Will they be doing theirs?
Good question to end on. I mean, dude, I don't know about you, but I needed this. Like, I've been yelling at my wife for 24 hours.
Yeah, listen.
Like,
next year,
she has not stopped hearing about this.
Next year, my Halloween costume, I'm going to go as Ben Sweat's attempted bicycle kick, because that was ugly.
Yep.
absolutely insane. Just the mental focus, the decision making or lack thereof, the timing of knowing what you're going to do with the ball before it gets to you. It's non-existent right
Oh
now.
man.
And those are all the things that we need to play this style in order to make it successful. And we just don't have it right now. And they're not going to change it, so you're not going to see anything different. But if it were up to me, Rodney Wallace is out of the lineup.
Yeah. Oh my
Ethan
God.
White
100%.
Ethan White is playing center back unless Chino is healthy. And at this
No.
point, you might as well put him in because, what do you have to lose?
Put him in
If
on crutches. He'll be just as
Listen, he's
useful.
supposed to be back. He was supposed to be back for the playoffs. Still not ready yet.
Yeah.
I understand it happens. That's fine. So in that case, assuming he's still out,
You're
and
gonna see Matarrita or Struna. That's it. That's what you're gonna see.
Listen, Matarrita's got to start. You got to throw everything out there at this point.
I think, dude. I think what it all just boils down to is that we really have to start questioning the tact of the coaching staff and the style of play that they're trying to impose on a league that's figured them out.
Yeah. Listen, something's got to change. Otherwise, we're not going anywhere.
Dude, they've got our number. They've got our number.
Everybody's got our number. It's insane.
It's insane. It's been bad. It's been really bad, and it's very difficult to watch.
It's like other teams can dribble up the field, hit their passes, and slice through. And when we go up the field, it's like we have to gently walk the ball and hand it off and then hit a brick wall.
Or go backwards. Or
and
go
then
all
forwards,
the way back.
and then backwards, and then forwards, and backwards. And listen,
don't let the possession stats fool you. Don't look at the possession stats and the passing accuracy and all that crap. Don't look at that. Don't look at that, because when the same pass is made, 150 times in a game, the passing accuracy is going to be pretty good when it's side to side or back to your keeper or between your two center backs. It's just the way it is. They have no bite. They have no desire, no ambition, no creativity. They've lost it all, dude. They've lost it all. And there's certain players that, I'm sorry, they have to go. You've got to start questioning your coach. And they got to reevaluate, man. Because you got to
put pressure. You got to put pressure on them. The front office has to put pressure. And come next season, whoever you're bringing in that DP spot, better be ready to bring it.
They better be ready to play. They better be ready to play and not be a bench player. Do not be a bench DP.
No. We can't have that.
We can't afford that. We cannot afford that.
No, you have to have somebody to come in here that's ready to play, that wants to win, that's still got plenty of gas left in the tank, that's going to gel with what you're trying to do. If your philosophy is playing one way, that is fine. But you better own that.
Get the players that will help you succeed in that position.
Yes, and that's what you have to do. You don't wait till 2 games into the preseason to find players like last season, because that ultimately hurts you too. This team, we need to know who's on this team, what the starting lineup is going to be on day one when it comes to the middle of the preseason. Before the preseason starts, I need to know who's on this lineup from top to bottom.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're working with.
It sucks that we're now just looking to the wintertime because we know what's coming.
Yeah, no,
I want them so bad to surprise me on Sunday.
Sure, we all are.
We all want nothing more than this team to come out guns blazing, pick up a clean sheet, and move on to potentially play Toronto in the second leg. You cannot have the same playoff run you had last year. You can't. Not with the team that we have, not with the coaching staff we have. It's just you have to do something different. And Sunday is the perfect opportunity to do it, dude.
Yeah, no, we got to see something. If we don't see something, I'm going to be so disappointed. And at that point, it's just all hell breaks loose, because it's been, again, more than 2 months of this going on, and it's not fair. It's really not fair.
Dude, we've been telling the same story for almost 2 months.
No, it's ridiculous. You can listen to any episode we've done from August until now. It's the same thing every week.
Yeah. Well, we needed to do this, though, because, again, a couple of people on Twitter were asking for it, which was awesome. But
Yeah.
but we texted last night and we were like, dude, we should really do something tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I was lighting this place on fire last night. I was just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen, I'm ready, and is it within the realm of possibility? Absolutely.
Of course it is. Yes.
And we're going, and we're loud and proud, and we will always be fans of this team. But that being a fan also comes with disappointment.
But they could make it a little easier, dude. They could make it a little easier on us.
Listen, you're going to be disappointed at times, but it's one thing to be frustrated with something once. Being frustrated by the same things over and over and over again is ridiculous.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
So that's it. I really don't want to think about this team until Sunday. I just want to walk away from this for a little while and hopefully.
No, but this was good. This was good. Like, this was like, I needed the. Hey, I saw that guy. Does he have any words?
No, he's been. Listen, he cannot say any words because all of his words will be
expletives,
very blanked out.
Yeah, no. So, thanks for watching this. If you're watching, thanks if you're listening. I'm actually gonna try to get this up as an audio podcast, just as a quick throw it up there, so the subscribers on iTunes and all that can get it and everything. But we're gonna get this video up like really, really soon. I'm just literally gonna take the beginning off of it and we're gonna put it up, and you guys can share it, comment on it, whatever. We'll be on social. We'll be on social media too to answer any questions.
I
have
been
glued to Twitter. I have been glued since last night. I'm like Twitter king right now because I just like I'm going on there just lighting the team up.
Yeah, listen, and it's deserved. Don't let anybody tell you it's not deserved. You have
thing.
Every right to be frustrated.
That's another thing too. For anybody that reads our tweets and thinks that it's dumb, thinks that we're out of line for crapping on our team, I'm sorry. When you have season tickets and when you work hard to put out content for this team, you have a little. And even if as a fan, you have a right to show your emotion, to show your satisfaction or dissatisfaction with your club, however and whenever you see fit.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for cheering 100% nonstop and all that good stuff, but I also believe that we all have a right to. When we're upset, we need to be able to show it.
That's it.
We support in good times and in bad, but when the bad times can be changed and they're not, that's a problem.
You can't be silenced when things are bad. You can't be a fan only when it's good.
No, exactly.
You can't be emotional only when it's good.
Nope.
If you're watching this video, share it, comment on it, do whatever it is that you're going to do wherever the heck you're watching this. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I don't even know what to call this, dude. This is like I said, episode 81.5.
It's like a vlog almost.
Yeah, it's just dude, it's NYCFC therapy, man.
Listen, so that'll be it's about 45 minutes at 150 an hour. So we'll settle up afterwards.
We'll send we'll send you guys.
We'll send you the bill.
We'll send City the bill.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we hope to see you Sunday.
All right, guys. Listen, make sure to give us that follow wherever you're watching this, listening to this, and we'll talk to you guys after Sunday. We're recording again Monday night for episode 82. So one way or the other, you will certainly hear from us come next week. I'll see you guys soon.
Peace.